Hello and welcome to Let's Talk IBS with a Tummy Whisperer. My name is Helen Brooks and I help fed up, frustrated IBS sufferers who've tried everything get their life back using an evidence-based mind-body approach. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist with 18 years experience on a mission to raise awareness of gut-directed hypnotherapy. I'm here to help you go from being controlled by your gut to being in control of your life. My intention for this podcast is to educate, inspire and empower you. There's a real lack of awareness of hypnotherapy as an evidence-based, well-researched treatment for IBS. And with 10 to 15% of the worldwide population suffering, it's not okay that no one knows about it. And it's my plan to change that. Let's start a conversation about hypnotherapy and IBS that's really missing right now. I want the Tummy Whisperer to be a beacon of hope for those who need it. Welcome to episode 6. Today I'm going to be helping you find out if gut-directed hypnotherapy is right for you and giving you some advice on how to help your IBS right away. So first and foremost, have you got IBS? Have you been to your GP or medical practitioner and got a diagnosis? If you've got changes to your bowels or abdominal pain, this is the first route to ensure that it's nothing else. Okay, so we've looked at some of the research in episode 2 that shows that a course of gut-directed hypnotherapy is effective in reduction of both colonic symptoms, so that's abdominal pain, bloating, bowel changes, gas, and non-colonic symptoms, things like fatigue, nausea, back pain, and loss of appetite. Hypnotherapy has also been shown to increase life satisfaction scores, but is it right for you? So although the success rates are pretty phenomenal, it's not 100% effective. So there will be some people that undergo a course of treatment and don't get the results that they want. In Professor Warwell's 1984 Lancet study, the rate of success for those with classic IBS symptoms was 95%. But it's important to point out that it was significantly less for those with an atypical symptom picture or significant psychological problems. Now, it's probably best not to commit to a course of treatment if you're going through a period of major stress. So if you're going through a divorce or other big life change. Although saying that, clients that I've worked with throughout the pandemic have had great outcomes despite that background level of stress. So there are a few questions here. Just see whether you answer yes or no. Have you tried dietary changes or medication and found that it hasn't helped you find relief? Is your IBS severe enough to be affecting your day-to-day life? So does it affect relationships and friendships? How about work? Is it limiting your career choices or increasing stress at work? Is it preventing you from doing things you'd like to do? So days out, holidays, or maybe simply the school run. Are you feeling anxious and stressed? Do you have disordered eating or any other reason why a dietary approach wouldn't be suitable? If you've answered yes to most of these, then yes, a course of gut-directed hypnotherapy would likely be a good choice for you. But what about the downsides of hypnotherapy? Well, there's the cost involved. It's an intensive way of working with personalised support from a qualified professional, so it's one of the more expensive approaches that you might consider. You need to ensure that taking on a course of treatment doesn't stress you out financially because that's going to be counterproductive. Secondly, it's a time commitment. So as well as the hypnotherapy sessions, you'll need to spend around 25-30 minutes of time each day. So that's mostly relaxation techniques, hypnosis audios and other helpful strategies, but it's work that needs to be done to get the best results. So if you have the resources to invest in yourself and you fit the criteria we've just discussed and you have the time to commit to the sessions and daily homework between sessions, then absolutely, hypnotherapy could be a great solution for you. Whoever you decide to work with, ensure they're qualified, so not just as a hypnotherapist, but make sure they also have experience of gut-directed hypnotherapy. It doesn't receive much attention in most hypnotherapy training courses. So although when looking for therapists, you'll see there's lots of things that are ticked or listed beneath the topics and areas that they cover, you really need to know that they've had specific training in gut-directed hypnotherapy. It's also important to chat with the therapist. So you're looking for whether you get a sense of warmth and empathy. Ask yourself, do you like them? Will you feel comfortable working with that person for 2 or maybe 3 months? It doesn't matter what their qualifications are like if you just don't click. So really on this one, listen to your gut. Do you feel that they can support you? Do they understand? Do they answer your questions? Does it feel right? They should be just as keen to check you out and ensure they feel confident you're the type of person to get good results. So you'll expect them to ask lots of questions and really listen to you. And as well as that, also it's a good idea to check out reviews, testimonials, check out qualifications. Have they written anything on the subject, such as blogs and articles? Don't be afraid to ask questions when you're making an important decision. And it's quite okay to take time to think over your decision and speak to more than one person so that you get a comparison. So what can you do right now to help your IBS? The first thing, the very first step in the process when I work with people is focusing on your breathing. There's a technique called the 7-11 technique that's super helpful for getting your gut into a state of rest and digest. Learning to deeply relax and incorporate breathing techniques. And of course, now you can use the session from episode 5. Yoga has been shown to be helpful for IBS and gentle exercise. Mindful eating. So at mealtime, stop and sit down, breathe. Remember, digestion begins before you dig in. So looking at your food, smelling your food, it stimulates the release of digestive enzymes in your mouth. Take a couple of calming belly breaths. Bring your mind to the here and now. Never eat in front of the telly. Don't eat on the run. And also be aware of worrisome thoughts. So if you find yourself thinking, is this going to cause me pain? Is this going to give me a flare-up? Just be aware of that and see what happens if you actually stay in a mindset of just letting your body do what it can do. Having a little trust, which I know is super difficult, but it makes such a big difference, and just changing those thoughts can really help. Most of all, stay positive and know there is so much that can help you. You are not alone. So before I finish off today, I've got some recommendations for you for further reading and resources. So for anything dietary advice, I recommend Dr. Megan Rossi, the Gut Health Doctor. You can find her on Instagram. Also got some great books as well that are a really good resource on understanding gut health, IBS, and all about digestion. And then there's the wonderful team at the Gut Health Clinic. There's Laura Tilt of Nutritility, who's an amazing dietitian. She's a font of IBS knowledge and host of the Gut Loving podcast, which is a really great resource. If you haven't listened so far, go and have a listen to that. The Gut Stuff is also a science-backed source of information curated by Lisa and Alana McFarlane. And then there's Lottie Drynan of the Tummy Diaries, again on Instagram, for amazing bloat-friendly style advice and body positivity. I'll put the links in the show notes for you. So that's it from me for this first series. It was an absolute joy to have you listen. I really do hope that you find gut-directed hypnotherapy as amazing and fascinating as I do. It's a wonderful way of working, and remember, it's not okay that no one knows about it. So please help spread the word. I'd be super grateful if you rate and review the podcast. It helps it become easier to find. Come and connect with me on Instagram, let me know what you think, or head over to my website, which is thetummywhisperer.co.uk. You can sign up for latest news and offerings. Come and say hello. Reach out if you need my help. If you're struggling with IBS, I'm going to sign off with a big hug and tell you, you're not broken, you're brilliant, and you can take control of your tummy and make life big again. Much love from me, your host, Helen.